Call this meeting to order at 7 p.m. Adoption of agenda. We have a addition to the in-camera. Item 16E, advice from officials. Could I have a motion, please?
I'll make the motion to accept the agenda as it is amended. Did I say that right?
No.
To amend the agenda.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Got it.
All in favor? Approved. Regular minutes.
Motion to adopt.
Oh, motion to adopt. Question?
Okay, so we had the motion.
No,
for
we need a motion to
unanimous
adopt the
consent.
amended agenda.
Now we need the, yeah.
Oh, perfect.
So moved by
Thank you.
Councillor Carlson, that the agenda be accepted as amended.
Regular minutes. Oh, all in favor? Approved. Regular minutes. Motion to adopt.
I'll make a motion to adopt the regular minutes from May 8th.
Question?
Moved by Councillor Meister that the regular meeting minutes of May 8th, 2023 be accepted as presented.
All in favor? Approved. Item 1, bylaws 1747, livestock bylaw. Abe?
So the town's livestock bylaw was due for an update. We discussed this briefly at the last council meeting where council passed first reading of the amended livestock bylaw. It had been 1983 since it was updated, and there was a lot of the information was outdated. A lot of the properties listed in there that were able to have animals no longer existed, and so the update here considers limiting livestock to certain areas of town based on zoning, and also adding provisions to the bylaw for chickens and hen ownership, an application process for that, and an internal approval process for that as well. Administration has considered having bees, as that is not uncommon for municipalities to allow urban beekeeping. However, at this time, we're not considering that, or not recommending that to council, rather. But certainly are seeing that other municipalities are providing processes for urban chicken, urban hen ownership, and so we've had that process in here. So the bylaw is on the agenda for second and third readings.
Motion for second reading.
I just got a quick question.
Oh.
I asked this last time. Is that $50 fee an annual fee or a one-time fee?
That's an annual fee.
That's an annual fee, right?
Any other questions, concerns? Councillor Kettles.
I guess my Claresholm doesn't include chickens in my thing, and so I've chatted to a few people, and I can't be in favor of that. I would be in favor of amending this to remove Section 4 and Section 5 and be done with the chickens, and would like to make an amendment to that effect.
Can you scroll up again? Sorry.
Yep.
Councillor Cutler.
So just giving that a quick read, Section 4 and Section 5. Section 6 is one that talks to urban hens.
Sorry, I'm looking at the actual, that's the summary, and I'm looking at the actual bylaw, sorry.
Oh, okay. I'm in favor of having, I mean, this is an opportunity that's been asked about and talked about for years around certain people trying to be self-sustained and have the ability to do it, so I'm actually in favor of it the way it's written. I'll make a motion to accept it as it's presented.
Did we have an actual motion on the table to amend the bylaw?
I would like to amend the motion to amend the bylaw to remove sections 4 and section 5. I'm not sure if I'll get a seconder.
Question?
Moved by Councillor Kettles to amend bylaw number 1747, the livestock bylaw, prior to second reading by removing sections 4 and 5.
All in favor? Defeated.
I'd like to make the motion to second reading as presented.
Question?
Moved by Councillor Cutler to give bylaw number 1747, the livestock bylaw, second reading.
All in favor? Approved. Motion for third reading of bylaw 1747.
I'll move for third reading, please.
Question?
Moved by Councillor Carlson to give bylaw number 1747, the livestock bylaw, third and final reading.
All in favor? Approved. Item 2, correspondence, Fort McLeod Minor Hockey Association. Abe?
Last fall, Fort McLeod ran into some issues. Fort McLeod, the town, and the Minor Hockey Association ran into some issues with their rink, getting it up and running in time for the hockey season. They came to the town and requested some fees or rates comparable to their fees or rates to use our rink, our arena, while theirs was being serviced. Council approved that request, and actually, I think, went a little further and gave them better rates than they'd even asked for. And so, previously, the town of Fort McLeod had sent correspondence to council to thank them. This correspondence is actually from the Fort McLeod Minor Hockey Association, just saying thank you.
Thank you. Correspondence, Claresholm District Transportation Society, Abe.
So the town every year provides grant funding, operational grant funding to several community organizations. The Claresholm Transportation Society is one of those, and they have issued correspondence to council just saying thank you for the community grant, the operational grant for 2023, and talking about as well how the increase in riders is just necessitates continued funding, and so they're just saying thank you and appreciate the support of the town.
Thank you. Number 4, request for decision, tax waiver, Claresholm Medical Clinic. Abe?
Yeah, so this is a tax waiver from the Claresholm Medical Clinic request. And so the request comes right from the MD who operates the medical clinic located at 4215 Fairway Drive. Council has been presented with these requests since at least 2018 and approved the waiver on the municipal portion of the medical clinic's taxes since that time. And this was done in recognition, spirit of cooperation, and recognition of the mutual aid that the municipalities often give to one another. For example, the MD provides recreation funding to the town of Claresholm every year. So the request this year is for that the town waive or cancel or refund rather the municipal portion of the taxes at the medical clinic, which is $7,017.65.
Questions, concerns? Could I have a motion to accept this tax waiver?
I'll make that motion.
Counselor Meister. Question?
Moved by Councillor Meister to cancel the municipal portion of the 2023 property taxes levied on the property owned by the MD of Willow Creek located at 4215 Fairway Drive in the amount of $7,017.65 in the spirit of cooperation with our municipal neighbor. This cancellation is equitable to the parties involved in recognition of the support the MD of Willow Creek provides to the town of Claresholm by way of the ICF Recreation Grant and the town's support of public health by way of supporting the Claresholm Medical Clinic.
All in favor? Opposed? Approved. Number 5, request for decision, letter of support, CPIC grant, skate park. Abe,
So as we know, the Claresholm Skate Park Association has been trying to raise funds for the new skate park for several years now. They have raised $54,000 for the skate park and have also been applying for different grants. Currently, they have a co-op community spaces grant in place. They haven't heard back yet, but they're waiting to hear back on that one. They will be applying for the Community Facility Enhancement Program large stream funding, which has a deadline of June 15th. And in order to qualify for those grants, they need to show evidence of matching funding for that. They are applying for $186,000, and minus the $54,000 that they've already saved, that means they'd have to have matching funding of $132,000. We've been working with them and suggesting that we could do, we do have $100,000 in the budget for next year. This item is in the capital budget for next year. The town council has reserved $100,000, but it's not quite enough to meet that matching funding that they need to proceed. And so we're proposing to commit $118,700, so which is an increase of about $19,000, plus $13,000 of in-kind labor and machinery to help with landscaping and site preparation. We can count that as monetary contributions. And so we're proposing that we provide a letter of support to the Skate Park Association, and that we, in that letter, we show that we are, the town council is committing those matching funds.
thank you. Questions, concerns? Could I have a motion, please? Counselor Kettles. Question?
Moved by Councillor Kettles to write a letter of support towards the Claresholm Skate Park Association's application to the Community Facility Enhancement Program for the purpose of constructing the skate park at 111 55 Avenue West, in which the town has allocated land for the skate park construction, and provide the matching funds and in-kind donation for stripping the site, minor earthwork, and landscaping where the town crews have the ability/equipment to complete that work in the amount of $132,062, $118,706 cash, and $13,356 in kind.
All in favor? Approved. Number 6, request for decision, letter of support for CPIC grant, Agriplex. Abe?
So we do have a lot of CFEP grants going in for for the town for facilities this year. It's good news. It shows that our community groups, often we're providing letters of support, shows that our community groups are active. So they are looking for a letter of support for the CFEP grant for the purpose of completing Stage 3, the front-end addition of their indoor facility at the Agriplex. So not asking for any monetary contribution at this point in time. Yeah.
Questions, concerns? Could I have a motion, please?
I'll make that motion.
Counselor Carlson? Question?
Moved by Councillor Carlson, read a letter of support towards the Willow Creek Agricultural Society's application to the Community Facility Enhancement Grant for the purpose of completing Stage 3, the front-end addition of the indoor equine facility at the Claresholm Agriplex.
All in favor? Approved. Request for decision. Southern Alberta Summer Games. Abe?
Just one quick comment to make on the previous conversation. Sorry about that. CFEP is bumped up by 30% this year. And so I think the word has gotten around to our community groups, but we need to continue to encourage them to apply because there is extra money out there. So it's good to see. Moving on. Apologies. Southern Alberta Summer Games. The board is asking for communities to bring forward proposals to host the Summer Games for 2025 and 2026. Claresholm was originally supposed to host in 2021. However, with COVID, it's been hard for the Summer Games to get back up and running. That was put off. I think the next one is 2024, is that correct, Corrine? So
yes.
Coaldale will be hosting the next ones after the COVID interruptions in 2024. Fort Macleod has shown an interest in the 2025 Summer Games. And I guess backing up a little bit, at the last council meeting, we had some correspondence inviting municipalities to apply. Council directed administration to coordinate a meeting with our Summer Games Committee for recommendations, and their recommendation is if Fort Macleod is expressing an interest, that we potentially look into co-hosting with them and perhaps making the games a little bit bigger, sharing some of the costs, and just kind of reaching out to Fort Macleod and the Summer Games Board to see if that's a possibility. So that's the recommendation that's on the agenda here, is a motion directing administration in that way. There's also an item of some grant funding that needs to be used, some casino funding that our Summer Games Committee was holding on to. Councillor Cutler or Crean can correct me if I'm wrong here, but you would propose that money go to those 2025 games if we became a co-host. If not, they'd have to have some conversations about possibly reallocating those funds in the community somewhere else where they might be needed. So.
Questions, concerns?
The committee met last week and had a good discussion around, we're supposed to host the 2021, and we did do a casino, so we got some money sitting there. Again, Fort Macleod's already shown interest for the 2025 games, so for competing with them to host it would be not sensible. So, yeah, I think we should reach out to Fort Macleod if they have an interest in sharing the games with us, then the MD would benefit from that, so I think that would be our first next step. And then if they are awarded the 2025, there's no sense for us doing the 2026 games. So then we would have to look at those funds that are sitting in that casino account, working with the AGLC and games and stuff, and seeing where we can utilize it within our local area for upgrades for sporting situations. And I did recommend that we host tennis here because we have the nicest tennis courts. So I'll make that motion. Huh?
Should we be adding pickleball?
Our pickleball was addressed and it will be there as well.
I see it there, yes.
Yeah. So it's it's one of the fastest growing sports in the world. So I'll make that motion.
Counselor Cutler. Question.
Moved by Councillor Cutler to advise administration to contact the town of Fort McLeod and the Southern Alberta Recreation Association to determine if there is a possibility that the town of Claresholm could partner with the town of Fort McLeod in order to co-host the 2025 Southern Alberta Summer Games.
All in favor? Approved. Request for decision, 2023 Canada Day Beer Garden. Abe?
Speaking of the Skate Park Association earlier, one of their main funding sources has been to host beer gardens. As per town policy, liquor and alcohol is not allowed, cannot be served at town facilities except without permission from council. They're proposing to host beer gardens on Canada Day at Centennial Park between the hours of 10:30 and 4 p.m. And so they would just need council's approval to proceed with that.
Questions, concerns? Could I have a motion,
I'll
please?
make that motion.
Counselor Meister. Question.
Moved by Councillor Meister to approve the responsible sale and consumption of liquor at Centennial Park, Saturday, July 1st, 2023, between 10:30 a.m. and 4 p.m., on the condition that an application to the Alberta Liquor and Gaming Commission has been approved and is displayed at the event.
All in favor? Approved. Request for decision, contractor policy update. Abe?
Our safety officer is currently going through our safety policies and having reviews on those safety policies. If you recall, a month or two ago, we had, it was the violence and harassment, town's violence and harassment policy updated, and the town's safety policy updated as well, safe work practices. And so this is further updates from the safety department. Specifically, this one is the contractor handbook and the contractor policy update. Key changes, formatting the policy to focus on contractors. Another key change, if a contractor has a special clearance letter or is a sole proprietor without WCB coverage, they need to inform the town. It's written in there, so we can actually have them covered under our policy. Any incidents, injuries, spills, damage to property need to be immediately reported to the town. Failure requirements, failure to comply with the policy, to meet industry safety standards and meet OH&S legislation will be grounds for termination of the contractor's employment with the town. The addition of the requirement for the protection and maintenance of health and safety of all employees, especially their physical, psychological, and social well-being. If you recall, that was some wording that we had added to our town policies as well, and so we're extending those to our contractor policy. The addition of the requirement to make all levels, parties aware of their individual OH&S rights, which is the right to know, right to participate, and the right to refuse dangerous work, the roles and responsibilities as well, and requirement for all parties to comply with the OH&S legislation and the organization's health and safety procedures. Again, if you recall, the word comply is legislated required to be in these policies. And then establishing a review process for the policy, such as every 3 years. And so we are recommending that council review the policy and the contractor orientation. If they have any questions to ask. But otherwise, we're looking for approval of the updated policies as presented.
Questions, concerns? Counselor Kettles?
Only one. I was just looking at section 10, and it looks like it's not read it out, so I assume that's from the original 2015 setup. I see it's at $10,000 for that special circumstances where there's no coverage, and I understand the intent is that, that we do better. These would be very special. I'm just wondering if that $10,000 is maybe a bit dated from 2013, or from 2015, and is that still a reasonable number? You really can't do anything for $10,000, so that would be my comment anyway. I just wonder if that was discussed or looked at.
I do know that the safety officer did look at all of these details, reviewed them with other policies as well, and reviewed with the operations infrastructure director, presented this. I don't have a specific answer on this one. I know he's gone through everything and felt comfortable with it. I don't have anything beyond that, unfortunately.
That's fine, thank you.
Any other questions, concerns? Can I get a motion to accept the updated policy on contractors? Councillor Kettles. Question?
Moved by Councillor Kettles to adopt the updated town policy as follows, effective May 23rd, 2023. 1.3.05, the contractor policy, version 4, and the contractor orientation.
All in favor? Approved. Request for decision, water plant pneumatics, G3 upgrade. Abe.
So we're just request on the agenda, council, to essentially move up this project from the 2025 capital budget to this year. I'll give you a little bit of background on the G3 upgrade. Currently, we require this upgrade on our water filtration system because the G2 products that we have in place are outdated. They're actually obsolete. And so this, we applied for funding for this in the fall of 2021 for this upgrade. We're not successful, however, updated the application in the fall of 2022, and we're successful with this. And so we're successful with grant funding that is about approximately 50% coverage for this project. We are recommending that we bump this project up and take care of it this year rather than wait till 2025, because the costs, the first estimate we had of this project was, I'll just pull it up here. The cost had increased significantly from $85,000 in 2021, and when we resubmitted in 2022 and had updated costing, it was $125,000. And then recently, only a few months since this time, we had another update, and it had jumped $15,000 for that project. So we've got the grant funding, and we're recommending that we don't wait until 2025 to do this upgrade, but that we proceed this year with it to avoid any further cost increases. The grant does only guarantee funding up to a certain amount, $64,000. And so now when the cost increases beyond that, those costs are 100% borne by the town.
Questions?
It's probably better to hop on this one than, like you said, let it keep raising in price, so I'll make the motion to approve. Proceeding with the
Councillor
water
Meister.
treatment plant.
Question?
Moved by Councillor Meister to approve proceeding with the water treatment plant pneumatics G3 upgrade in 2023 for a maximum amount of $140,146.56, funded by AMWWP grant of $64,317, and the remainder funded by the Water and Sewer Utility Capital Reserve.
All in favor?
There's one
Question?
I'm not the nitpicky one here, but should be water treatment plant in the motion?
And I did put plant.
And plant? Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
I read it as plant.
All in favor? Approved. Request for decision, campground rates, extended stays. Abe?
So we do get asked quite a bit about extended stays. For campground rates, currently, we only have nightly rates. And we are, in response to being asked quite often about extended stays, we're proposing to offer weekly rates to campers. As you'll see, we've got some options there for savings for campers. If they book weekly, they can have savings of $5 a night, $35 a week for full amp service and water and power rates as well. Additionally, the unserviced sites, we're proposing $5 a day savings for the weekly rates, and the tenting is at $1 a day. And so the weekly rates we're proposing to add to the recreation fees policy are highlighted there for you, council. And this is something that will cost the town a little bit of money, but we feel it would be appreciated. It's something that comes up a lot, and we feel it would be appreciated, and it would not be appreciated by the users without costing us a significant amount.
Questions, concerns? Councillor Kettles?
I think we might be pleasantly surprised this doesn't end up costing us money. I think having this option will allow people to park their camper here and maybe base out of here and do day trips or do whatever around the community. And, you know, for everyone that stays 7, there'll be probably some that only stay 6. And I think we'll find it as a net benefit. And I'd like to thank administration for looking at that.
Could I have a motion to approve these? Councillor Kettles. Question?
Moved by Councillor Kettles to adopt the new campground weekly rates as presented and to update the town's recreation fees policy number 5.7.10 accordingly.
All in favor? Approved. Information brief, CAO report. Abe?
It's just updates, council, for operational updates on the different departments. What's been done since the last month? Any questions on anything?
Questions, concerns?
I'd just like to make one comment is, as a council, who we put a lot of effort into these open houses. I was quite disappointed that there was 0 attendance for our last open house, and I hope that people out there will start attending them to get more information as we go forward. But
Thank you, Councillor Cutler. Any other comments, questions? Information brief, council committee reports. Anything anybody wants to add? Questions, concerns? Information brief, council resolution status. Any questions? Adoption of information items. Can I have a motion, please? Councillor Cutler. Question?
Moved by Councillor Cutler to adopt the information items as presented.
Perfect. Motion to go in camera, please. Councillor
The
Meister.
motion to go into camera, into in-camera.
Question?
Moved by Councillor Meister to go in camera at 7:35 p.m. for the following items: A, personnel; B, personnel; C, advice from officials; D, local public body competences; and E, advice from officials.
All in favor? Approved. camera off, please. Motion to come out of in camera?
I'll make the motion to come out of in-camera.
Question?
Moved by Counselor Meister to come out of in camera at 9:03 PM.
All in favor? Approved. Motion on area structure plan project.
I would like to make the motion. I would like to make the motion to accept A&E's proposal.
Question?
Moved by Counselor Cutler to accept the proposal from Associated Engineering for the Town of Claresholm Development by Design ASP project in the amount of $88,403, and that the town's portion of this project of $23,000 be funded from the town's land reserves account.
All in favor? Approved. Motion for new garbage
Bins.
containers.
I'll move that we approve options 3 as discussed and proceed with this.
Question?
Moved by Counselor Kettles to approve option 3 as discussed in closed session, item 17D, advice from officials.
All in favor? Opposed? Approved. Okay. A motion to have administration report back to council on 16E land development.
I can make that motion.
Question?
Moved by Counselor Carlson to direct administration to report back to council with land development options at the next regular meeting on June 12, 2023.
All in favor? Approved. Motion to adjourn? Councilor Carlson, we are adjourned. Camera off.